Good evening. The frequency is not in use. This is K4PEW. Simplex Radio Net. There's emergency traffic, which obviously there wasn't. If there is, though, call 911 first. If you can't do that or you need more help after that, give us a call. We'll be glad to help you. The net may be broken at any time. For information on this net, look on YouTube right now, put my call, K4PEW, into the search block, and you bring up a premiere to look at. You'll be able to hear the other stations if you can't normally hear them, and you'll be able to see what your signal strength looks like relative to others into my radio. You can also go to 146.415.net, 146.415.net. Some information on Simplex, which I think is germane, I'll call it. Look it up. I think it's a real word. You can also go to, what do you call it? Groups.io, GROUPS.India Oscar, and put MJSS, Mount Juliet Simplex Society, into the search block, and you can sign up for our email system and have a place to ask questions if you have any, technical or otherwise. You can also sell and buy equipment there if you so desire. Or you can email me at k4pew@arl.net if you have questions or concerns. Don't get too many of those. The net normally meets at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. Tonight we're doing the net on 146.415, followed by 28.415 upper sideband. No, yeah, that's right, upper sideband. And then on 223.415. I think I'd remember this after 900 something. That's right. I was only half of those have the Wednesday night, so it's only 400 and something. Purpose of that is that fun. Figure out what you're doing right or wrong. Figure out who you can hear and who you can't hear. And really, it's all about fun. If it was work, my gosh, there'd be no fun at all. Even work is, if it's fun, it's not really work. Anyway, if it's a hobby. It's a hobby. We're supposed to have fun. Announcements, I have none other than this week doing this net, and then we have the 10-meter, another 10-meter net on Sunday night. It's at 7:30 p.m. handled well by Michael KM4YRF. It's at 7:30 p.m. 7:30. It's on the same frequencies we're doing tonight, 28.415 upper sideband. He also moves over to 29.415 FM for a shot at infamy there, and then on to 223.415 that night as well. Let's see announcements. Oh yeah, this is net number 915, and we're starting from the north. We'll be taking check-ins. Before we do that, is there any other announcements? I'll take that as a resounding no. So we're going to start taking check-ins from the, from those short on either first-time check-ins, mobile, or short on time. Oh, it's busy out there tonight. Okay, then we'll start from the north. Please come now.
KE4TW.
I was beginning to think I was alone tonight. How you doing, Wes?
Doing good. I'm getting ready to go mobile here in a second, so I'll be listening while mobile. But everything's good here. Good hot day. Got a lot done. Back to net. KE4TWI.
Actually, if you like the heat, it was a great day because it wasn't raining and it was a reasonably nice day as long as, well, you're in the shade, but even when you weren't, it's a nice day.
I was, and I finished my tower. It's all done practically. I just got to add antennas. So, good day. KE4TW.
Oh, that's great. Must be very satisfying. That was Wes, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey, and he's got his new old tower, old new tower, reassembled on his new property and ready to roll with some new antennas. Who else is north? Or west? I heard a squelch break. Anybody else west? Am I in the wrong day and the wrong time?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Hey, Greg. I'm beginning to wonder who's out there. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it looks like it might be lean, but if I talk real slow, maybe more people will show up.
I don't know. It's a, well, I never really worried about that. I mean, here we are on net number 900 and something. And I just don't get concerned about it. In fact, if we didn't finish early, it gives me more time to do stuff I want to do. Besides the net. Anyway, anything else for the net tonight, Greg?
Nope. See you on the next one. KD4CV.
Very good. That's Charlie Victor Echo in Antioch. Who else is south or west? Excuse me, west, north or west? Hello, how are you tonight? Up in Hendersonville, right?
Yes, yes. Not bad, not bad. I missed your announcement section. I got a quick announcement if I can make it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll make sure to write it down because I don't know if everybody can hear it, but go ahead.
Okay. This coming Saturday, 8 o'clock, Sumter County Amateur Group's going to be holding a testing session at 255 Airport Road in Gallatin. Again, 255 Airport Road in Gallatin. It's the Sumter County Emergency Management EOC building there in Gallatin.
Oh, very good. And that's at what time on Saturday?
It'll be 8 o'clock, 8 a.m.
Very good. And who should they contact ahead of time if they have any questions about it?
They can go to Secure webpage, and I think there's a section on there for the testing. Who they can contact? His first name is Bill. Can't remember his call sign off the top of my head.
Is that Sumner County? How is it? What is it? SCERA? What is it? What should they be looking for on that website? That website name?
Sumner County Amateur Radio Association, SCERA.net. Sumner County Amateur Radio Association.
Okay, very good. I knew there was one up there. I was never sure what their name was. Isn't that funny? I knew anyway. Very good. That was Michael in Hendersonville, Kilo 4 Victor Alpha. But he's making a point. There is a testing session this coming Saturday. Sumner County at the Sumner County EOC at 255 Airport Road, and that's at 8 a.m. If you have questions, look up the Sumner County Amateur Radio Association in Sumner County. If you have any questions, but you'll be able to find out from there, I'm sure, who to direct it to. He's saying his name is Bill, but look on the website. It'll give some details on the testing. So be there. If anybody looks that up in the meantime, I might want to fill me in if there's some other issue we need to know about. Testing Saturday, 8 a.m. There's also testing, at the Wilson Club on the first Saturday of the month. Oh, that's not, they've already had theirs this month. I just thought I'd mention in case you were looking at the Wilson County Amateur Radio Association. All right, very good. Anything else for the net, Michael?
One more thing. Call sign is going to be Rick W3UO William 3 Uniform Oscar, and his name is Bill.
And that's Bill. That's Bill. Who is the call? I mean, who's the contact person, right?
Yes. W3UO.
Oh, very good. I don't think I've seen a 3 call in ages.
It's I think it's a vanity call sign he picked up.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a 3 though. The 3 is so it's unique because I never hear a 3 call. It's funny. Anyway, all right, very good. And he's I see he's in Bethpage, and he has an email address there as well. KC5PWS. That's Kilo Charlie 5 Papa Whiskey Sierra at yahoo.com. You can look him up. Whiskey 3 Uniform Oscar on QRZ. Anything else for the net, Michael?
No, I'll turn it back over to y'all, and y'all have a good evening.
All right, thanks for the info. I'm sure somebody will want to, I hope somebody will be interested in taking their test, or I hope they're ready for the test. I always encourage people to upgrade because it's awful to sit down in technician and not being able to work the HF bands. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, that was Michael in Henderson, Kilo 4 Victor Alpha. Who else is west, northwest, or south?
Kilo Golf 4, Neil Jim Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
Very good, Jack. Everything good?
Yeah, Rick is trying to check in, but I don't think you can hear him.
Rick, go ahead again, please.
Did you hear him?
No, all I heard was squelch noises. Open the squelch up all the way. No, I could not. Bad night for west to east anyway.
Well, I guess you can check him in by proxy.
All right, very good. Yeah, you can see a doctor about that too.
Thanks for doing the net, Paul. I'll let the next one check in.
Very good. That was Jack, Kilo Golf for India Lima Victor. He is in Donaldson. That was Rick, I should say. He goes by Rick in west of Ashland City, Kilo November for Tango Juliet Foxtrot, who had to check in because I could not hear him. Somebody else may have. But anyway, who else is west?
Kilo Bravo 9, Oscar Charlie Delta. Greg, Paul, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I thought you left town or something. I haven't heard from you in so long.
It's been a while. It's just been very chaotic around here. And usually I'm in bed at this time, but I thought I'd stay up today.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully we're worth it. How are you doing? Okay?
Yes, sir. Doing fantastically well. Thank you for asking, and thank you for doing the net. And I keep hearing positive things about the Simplexton.
Oh, yeah. We got to be the craziest group, at least in Tennessee, that we do 13 nets a week.
What, is that all?
Is that all? That's enough.
No, I just thought I would chime in this evening. I will say 73 to you and everyone listening on the net. And this is Kilo Bravo 9, Oscar Charlie Delta, Pleasant View. We'll be clearing back to net.
Yeah, very good. Don't forget, we do that 223 net at the end of this net. I know you're going to bed, so don't stay up, please. But we also do one on Sunday night at the end of those nets.
Yep, I remember that.
Okay, very good. Just want to make sure. You know how we are when we get old. I can't remember what I just said.
What?
I don't know. Who is this? Very good. That was Greg. He's in Pleasant View. Kilo Bravo 9, Oscar Charlie Delta. He's been around a while, but he goes to bed early, like some people do. Like sometimes I do go to bed at 10 o'clock, which is historically very unusual for me, but my schedule calls for it. Anyway, who else is west? West or south?
Nashville.
Oh, I had a couple in there, and I'm pretty sure I knew who a couple of them were. I know Tony was there. Tony, how are you, Tony?
I'm above ground.
Well, so you say. You could be below ground and talking to me.
Yeah, well, there is that one side of the family that does favor the groundhog.
Hey, even groundhogs come up during the day.
Yeah, but we don't invite them over for Christmas dinner.
No, well, we have them for Christmas dinner.
Maybe you do.
No, not really. Anyway, everything good?
Everything's good, unless you've heard some.
Well, I can't say it over you.
Okay. No, I'm good. Careful.
Very good. That's Tony. He's in Smyrna. Good signal. Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo Foxtrot Quebec. Who else is south?
KC 14AQ, Charles, West Nashville.
Ah, very good, Charles. I thought that was you. Everything going well on your end of the county?
Oh, yeah. It's, a normal hot humid there over. Can't get us to do anything.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do anything, but it is. I was out there mowing the lawn this afternoon, and in spite of the sun, it was actually very nice out. It wasn't because I physically wasn't doing much other than riding the mower, so it was not too bad.
Oh, yeah, I did mine yesterday, but I'd weed eat and push the mower and all that good stuff, so I was pretty much done yesterday.
Yeah, this is one of those days my dad used to use it for all kinds of weather. He'd say, sure is nice out. I think I'll leave it out.
Yeah, I've got a rider, but I don't usually get it out until maybe like August, and when it's really, really hot, or if it's really, really uncomfortable, that's about the only time I get it out.
Well, you must not have a very big lot.
No, I got a real small lot, but other than that, that's about it. Went to the doctor this morning for a checkup, stopped by the grocery, and that was my day.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've got about with the house sits on it, but I've got about 2/3 of an acre, and it takes 45 minutes to mow it with a riding lawnmower. So I wouldn't want to do it with a push mower.
Oh yeah, well, I got 2/10 of an acre and got a house and a garage on it, so I ain't got too much, but it takes me a while.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. It's all work, and you still got to do the other stuff like edging and all that other crap.
Yep, of course, after the rain, it's growing fast. But anyway, Paul, I'll let you get on with it, and thanks for doing the net. 7-3, KC14Q.
Yeah, that was Charles, Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec. I actually like, in spite of having to mow the lawn a lot more, and do the weed eating and do all this stuff. I still like the way the lawns, the properties around me look so nice when they're mowed and look pretty. Anyway, who else? Who else is west or south?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hello, Larry. Are you doing well? Your signal sounds great today.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Have you heard anything on the Lebanon Ham Fest?
It's going to be, I think, a week earlier than it was last year, but I can't give you the dates because I don't have it right in front of me. I don't think I do anyway. No, I don't. Let me look. Well, hold on one second. July 22nd.
Okay, appreciate it. KE4 SY weekly.
Yeah, that's not too far off, is it? I'm pretty sure it's July 22nd. I'm going to double check on it. I haven't seen any emails on it. This is July 12th, so it's only 10 days away. Man, we need to get some messages. I say we. I'm not club membership here. So, all right, that was Larry. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. We need to get somebody from the Wilson Club on here to give us the straight scoop again on what's going on. Who else is west or south?
Kilo India 4 November Delta November.
Well, there's the man with all the answers. How you doing there, David?
The answer is well. IAsk.ai. IAsk.ai's got the answers. Over.
Oh yeah, AI. The generic answers I mostly get from that thing.
Well, I tell you, it sure beats searching and doing all the research yourself, and then you can kind of get some more answers without digging around for hours, you know.
Yeah, well, actually, the search engines have done a great job over the years for me. I mean, I'm really amazed at how easy it is to not only get information, to be confused by what you get.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. At least it narrows it down, and if you ask the right question, it narrows it down for you. It still gives you the information where it came from, you know.
I like the questions or the things I'm looking for that no matter what I ask about it, and I can't give you an example right now, but it'll get, well, that's not what I was looking for. So I do it again, still not what I'm looking for. And I ask you, it's still not what, I'm like, maybe I'm asking the wrong question.
I know. You try to trick that AI engine, and it hardly won't let you trick it, you know. Anyway, good to hear you, Mr. Ball, and everybody on the net. 7-3 to everybody. KI4ND.
Very good. That's David in Reedyville. Kilo India 4 November, Delta November. Who else is west or south? West, south, or east?
KM4YRF. Go.
We had a double in there, but Michael won big time. I don't know who the other person was. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing okay, Paul. Got news from the doctor today about Emily's foot. She has to have another surgery on Friday. So anybody that's so inclined, please say a prayer for her.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the message you sent me. So I was hoping everything goes well. That's a day after tomorrow. Well, good. I hope it's going to get fixed. Well, they're good about that stuff. I mean, it's medical science. Unless it's something really complicated, they usually got a good handle on it.
Well, her surgeon is excellent, and she broke her tibia, and also the ligaments pulled two pieces of bone off, one each side of her foot. So they got to go in there and fix that.
Tibia. I thought that was a country in Africa.
There might be.
No, really. Oh, that was when she fell. She just fell. Well, you don't have to belabor the point, but she fell, but somehow did her foot. Did she hit something with it? I mean, was that the first part of the fall?
Well, there's a step up going from the garage into the den, and her foot hit that metal threshold on there, and I think that's what did it.
Yeah, not good. Well, it's funny how easy it is to get injured. I'll give you that. I've done it myself.
Well, Thomas could hear it snap, so we knew that it wasn't really good.
Yeah, I've heard that snap, by the way. It's not fun.
And I only hope it don't happen to you.
Well, I've had it happen on other parts. I had it happen to my toe. Yeah, my finger.
Well, I don't think I've ever had a broken bone, but I've had enough other stuff, and I don't wish bad health or accidents on anybody.
I don't know. You got some holes in that head bone.
I sure do.
Anything else other than that, Mike?
No, that's all. But the 22nd is the day, and Phil, I think the last time he checked in, he's the one that said the 22nd.
Yeah, it's only 10 days away, man. I mean, I'm surprised they even deluged everybody with some messages.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, well, I'm always ready for it. I mean, that's like family reunion for at least for Wilson County.
Absolutely. Well, I've tied you up long enough, Paul. 73, thank you for what you do, and back to net control.
Very good. That's Michael KM4YRF. He's here in Mount Juliet, about a mile or two east of me. Who else is east?
Kilo Quebec 4, Alpha Echo Tango.
Chris, are you mobile again?
I am listening.
Wait a minute, there was a double in there. Hold on, double. Whoever double was. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, that's just checking in, and yeah, just back up what the previous operator was saying. Yeah, the 22nd is the Ham Quest, and you know, there's a Ham Quest Facebook page. They have been doing a few updates on that. So if you're Facebook inclined, you can get updates via that.
Yeah, Facebook. They don't have a regular. They don't have a page outside of Facebook.
Not. Man, I can't remember now if there's a website. I thought there was.
I don't know. Well, I just know that I learned a long time ago. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be a member of any Facebook site that would have me as a member. Hey, hold on one second. Anyway, Chris, no, well, Facebook is that the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club's Facebook site?
I think they have a separate HamQuest Facebook page just for HamQuest.
All right, I'll take a look myself. Maybe somebody else can look through it and they're going to beat me to the punch. Because if I do it, it's going to take a while. I'm doing it one fingered here, so I'll be very good. Chris, anything else for the net?
No, sir. Hope to see everybody at HamQuest though in 10 or so days.
All right, I got it. They do have a nice webpage for the HamQuest, and it's the HamQuest is, as you might imagine, has the word HamQuest in it, and it's midtn, MIDTN, HAMQUEST.com. Midtn HamQuest, MIDTN HamQuest.com. They've got it, all the information is right there for you to find. It is mere 9. It says you got a countdown. 9 days, 11 hours, and 37 minutes away.
Yep, that is correct. All right, well, I'll be ducking off here. I'm just pulling up to the house. So we'll talk to you all later. 73, back to net control.
Very good. Thanks for that, Chris. By the way, it does say on the website, which is probably one of the better parts of this really has gotten better over the years. 5 commercial vendors, ham vendors will be there. TN07 Engineering, CHATT Radio, Silver Needle Embroidery. Oh man, I got to bring my embroidery stuff with me. And I'm not sure who the William Perry Company is, or the Louisville, but not sure. Obviously, they're in the ham business. I'll have to look them up. Anyway, we got that all settled. Anybody else? Who else was out there? Who else? South or east?
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael in Lebanon.
Oh, Michael, you doing well?
Doing pretty good. I'm just questioning my wife's decision making because she's going to leave me here for 4 days without any adult supervision, and I have that dog's life in my hands.
Yeah, I hope she took away your credit cards.
No, she didn't. That may happen in the morning while I'm asleep. I don't know.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a leash on you either, right?
No, she didn't. She actually took me over to the refrigerator a while ago, opened the doors and said, "These eggs are for you. These eggs are for the dog. Here is your sausage and bacon. Here is the steak cut up for the dog."
Yeah, I'm with you. My wife just yesterday, she said something similar. She said, "I'm leaving. I want to." She didn't say she's going to, but it appears she at some date. I don't remember the date now. I'm not supposed to remember those. I'm the husband. Anyway, she said, "I'd like to take 4 or 5 days and go up to blah blah." And I'm thinking, "You're gonna leave me home alone again? Oh my gosh, we're gonna get in trouble again."
I hear you there. She actually said, "I'm kind of worried about leaving you and the dog. Yeah, I've had a stroke in the past, and worries about my medical condition. I said, well, you could always stay home instead of going to that craft fair. She said, I don't feel that bad about it.
Well, it's funny. You can't worry about things. Even if you never had any problems, doesn't mean you could have a problem. It's kind of like, my wife goes away for a couple of days, or she goes to work for 10 hours. She doesn't know what's going to happen to me. I'm no youngster.
I think she's more concerned about me taking care of the dog than she is taking care of myself. I don't know that for sure.
Well, I know my 5 dogs love me, but if I died while she was gone, it'd probably pretty much finish me off by the time she got back.
I don't know about that. It would take mine. Mine's got a very small mouth, so it may take her a little while, but she gets hungry pretty quick, so you never can tell.
Yeah, anyway, everything else good for you, Michael?
Doing pretty good, trying to stay out of the heat. I guess we're waiting on the rain to come in this weekend, so I'll be sitting around here watching it from the window and trying to talk on the radio.
Well, there is a rain scheduled, I think.
That's what they say. Of course, they say that almost every day. It's either going to be light or dark, rain or shine.
That's why I don't pay a whole lot of time. I do look once in a while. That's why when people talk about the weather, I often don't have any idea what they're talking about, because even when I saw that last one, I said, oh, there's going to be a storm coming, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. Like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. And then we had, like 60 or 70 mile an hour winds. And I went, oh, great. People lost trees across, it was a mess. But those 10 mile an hour winds really do havoc, don't they?
I hear you there. I like the way they say that they weren't going to tweak the forecast, because I knew that I couldn't get away with that when I was working.
I know. Well, again, I'm glad my job wasn't as crazy as theirs was, quite honestly.
Yeah, that's true. I'll let you get back to it. I probably ate up enough of your time, and I'll talk to you again soon. 73 to you, Paul. Whiskey up 5, Romeo India Papa.
Very good. That's Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, and he's in Lebanon. Who else is he?
WA4 DBY Eddie, Southeast.
South, well, doesn't. We're not picky about. If you don't know the exact bearing, you can't check it. No, I'm kidding, of course. What was the first name again? I'm sorry.
First name is Eddie, Echo Delta Delta India Echo. Well, I know where I am, so I guess that's the most important part.
Oh no, absolutely. It's I've been in the. I see, even after being here in Mount Juliet for 12 years. Oh, yeah, almost 12 years. I still, because I'm retired, I don't get out as much as people who work for a living, and my wife still works, and so in turn, I don't necessarily, even though I know north, south, east, and west. You can tell me, I for years, when somebody names a new place for me, I have to look it up, because I'm not sure where it is, and where I grew up or where I lived in Florida for 35 years. I knew the place like the back of my hand, but here I don't do so well with locations.
Roger. Well, I'm in between Mount Juliet and Gladeville, so that's a little suburb called Suggs Creek, a little community there. So not too far from you. Everybody sounds good tonight, so I won't hold it, but just wanted to check in and give you the other number.
Oh yeah, I know Suggs Creek. I do know that one. That's a nice area now.
Roger. Yeah, it's pretty good. Been hot like everywhere else, but it's a nice little place.
Oh yeah, very good. Nothing else for the net, Eddie?
No, sir, nothing else. Appreciate it. I know some guys are listening for you, trying to check in from Cannon County, but they're just in the backside of hills, and they hear some guys, but they say they just can't check in, so they're listening.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I think people who can hear to forget. I try to remind them. Not that it matters, but there are people who are out there listening for the net, and it gives them is working, or how high it should be. You know what I'm saying? It gives them a clue, and that's what we kind of provide here. I say we collectively, because it's not just me; it's other people as well. Because they may not be able to hear me, but like you just said, they can hear other people on the net.
That at least lets them see. I think they heard a guy from Bradyville a while ago, so that's good. I'll let you go. Paul, good talking with you again, and best 73 everyone. Stay cool. WA4 DBY, Suggs Creek.
Very good. That was Eddie, Whiskey Alpha 4, Delta Bravo Yankee in Suggs Creek, to south of me. And it was just making a good point there that there's people who do listen on this frequency. I don't know how much, I can't really tell, but I know that there are people who do listen, who don't check in, and we have no requirement to check in. And I really do believe that, in a way, I don't mean to make this sound any more than it is, but kind of like a beacon, in the sense that people have a regular place to listen to see how well on this frequency they can hear people and to determine how well their antenna is working. Anyway, kind of like almost like a lot of people do with repeaters. But they say, hey, I can hit this repeater, I can hit that repeater, I can hit it. But the problem with that is people have told me that over the years, and I used to do the same thing. You say, well, I can hit that repeater in, somewhere, just name the place. I go, yeah, well, just remember that repeater's up at 500 feet. I mean, it's not too hard to hit. I can hit that with a handheld through my driveway. Anyway, who else is east? East or anywhere? Yeah, we're all the way around. Any place, anywhere, please come down.
84 Jillian.
Hello, Mr. Danny. What's up with you up there?
Just got in, took a shower, and mowed the yard this evening. Just the same old thing, just different day.
Oh, man. It's not even Saturday and you took a shower?
Yeah.
Man, you must be living the lap of luxury over there.
You get out and mow the yard, you gotta take a shower because chiggers will get you.
Oh, I tell you what, I got a mess go when I did the lawn today, because I hit one part of against the fence and it blew up all the grass and a bunch of debris in my face, and I'm all sweaty and it's all covered my arms and my neck. So yeah, I kind of have to take a shower.
Oh yeah. All righty. Well, you're sounding good. I sat down and I seen the email and I was like, oh, I'm usually too late. But anyway.
Yeah, very good. Glad you're there, Danny. That was Danny. He is closest to Cottontown. And that's Kilo Delta 4 Golf, Oscar November, with a great signal. Who else is any place, anywhere?
WV0 Nova.
Hey, we're trying to be last, were you, Mark?
I was trying to be last, but I think I maybe doubled with somebody.
I did hear another squelch break in. How are you doing?
Doing well. Nothing new over here. Getting ready for the Ham Fest, so that'll be fun.
Oh, I think it's great. Like I said, it's almost Ham Fest. At least local ones are more like a, like a reunion. People you only talk to on the radio. When they don't come to our breakfast, I get to see them there.
Yep. Well, I've been going through my parts bins and putting everything in little plastic bags, and I'm going to put them in a box and ask $1 a bag, and I'll negotiate.
Well, you gonna make them surprise bags?
No, they're little clear plastic bags, so they can tell what's in it.
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, it's hard to go wrong. Although all you're doing is transferring your crap to somebody else for money.
Exactly. I'd even skip the money part. If somebody had a really good story of why they needed it, they could have it.
I know. I was just thinking about that myself. I had some stuff, and I really, on eBay, I was thinking this is stuff for eBay. And I was thinking about, well, I could offer those on eBay, but oh man, they're never going to buy. I said, what I'll do is say free, you pay shipping.
Yeah. Well, I don't know whether there are really very many builders anymore. That was always part of the hobby that I really enjoyed. So I got a pretty good inventory of fairly worthless stuff.
Well, yeah, as time goes on, obviously, and I wasn't one of those people, and I knew of people who did that even when I was a kid, because ham radio then was mostly, I would just say a majority were builders or partial builders, even though may buy over the counter equipment. But so much of it wasn't readily available, so they had to build it. And back in I was a kid in the 50s, of course. You were too, mostly. But after World War II, there was a whole crap load of Navy, Army, Air Force gear.
Yep, there was. And I was past that. I think my first transmitter was a single tube 6146 novice CW transmitter that I cobbled together from parts. But in those days, you could build it far cheaper than you could buy it. that's not so anymore.
Okay, did you get FCC approval on that?
Didn't need it.
I'm saying it. Everybody complains about the Bowfangs, but everybody who built equipment, you're just hoping it met some requirement, the FCC's requirement. You're not even really hoping. It wasn't a big deal then.
Yeah, I think the only requirement still is Part 15, which is pretty minimal. Same as an AM table radio.
Yeah. Is that you making that squelch noise when you're breaking or turning off the PTT?
I don't think so. I'm not hearing anything.
No, that's not you. You were fine on that one. Anyway, anything else for the net, Mark? Yeah, I'll be anxious to see your grab bag there.
Well, come on by. Yeah, that's all I got. Have a good net, WB0NOO.
So you are going to have, wait, let me clarify. You are going to have a table though, right?
Yep. Look for Robin. He's nice and tall. So I'm going to use him as my landmark. We're right next together.
I just thought of a novel idea for you to get all of your stuff going. You pay $1. If you remember back when I was a little kid in the 50s, they had that fishing thing where you took a stick and you had a rope at the end and you put it over the blanket or the sheet or whatever it was, and then they just attached something to it, which obviously wasn't a fish, it was a prize. You pull it over and you got it. So you get rid of everything that way.
That sounds good. Would you set that up for me?
I'll just sit back there and attach the package to the rope. Anyway, anything else for the net, Mark?
Nope, that's it.
All right, that's Mark. Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar in Northwest Wilson County. A great signal, as always. Who else is? He's going to bring your dollar bills, not because there's one of those women shows. It's because Mark's got a whole bunch of stuff he's wanting to get rid of. Who else is any place anywhere?
Kilo Quebec 4, Foxtrot Echo Golf.
I heard that Foxtrot Echo Golf, but there's another station that's really raggedy to me. I can't hear it. Say it one more time. Oh, is anybody hearing that? Because I caught the Romeo, but that's all I heard. Who is that?
Say your call again. I never can get it. KC6 Hotel Working Radio. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I got it. It's Darcy. How you doing, Darcy? I haven't heard from you in ages and ages. Well, I've got a replacement antenna, a new X700 antenna going up. Hopefully, comes in the next couple of days. But I heard you earlier on the air, and I was busy, and I couldn't get to you. And I heard you talking. Your signal was perfect then. Were you mobile? Wow, because you were clear as a bell. You were probably 20 over easily talking to Ray. I heard you earlier, and now I got headphones on and I can't quite understand it just due to the hashing. So conditions changed, or I don't know. Yeah, it could very well be. Anyway, good to hear from you, Darcy. Very good. That was Darcy. He's in Cottontown. Kilo Charlie 6 Hotel Whiskey Romeo. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I told you, I'm still waiting. I thought it was going to come today. They said DX Engineering says it was going to ship on the 7th, and here it is the 12th. So I'm not sure where it's sitting. Anyway, looking forward to getting that back up. Who else is any place anywhere?
Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra Paul, North Mount Juliet.
Hey, Paul, back in town again, eh?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Man, I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah, one day maybe I'll be able to give it up.
Well, I think you've probably heard of me and my wife's travels, where we traveled 3 times this year by air, and they're always exciting. But this time we're Kennedy and LaGuardia up there, which is it's like a human zoo.
Oh yeah, yeah. LaGuardia, you said?
Both had LaGuardia and Kennedy.
Oh yeah, yeah. They finally, I don't know if it's during the pandemic or what, or just shortly after, they got done remodeling that place. It used to be like a modern airport these days.
Oh yeah, when we were in LaGuardia, it's beautiful. It's not completely finished though, because they still think they have some road work they're working on. I'm not sure. I didn't go all through the terminal, but some of the terminal is still old. Looks like Newark.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to go. I've never been. They have a what used to be the C terminal. I heard it's like an old Art Deco terminal that only like one airline goes in and out of. I've always wanted to check that out.
Oh wow. Well, after being there, the last time my wife flew up to Long Island, she went to MacArthur Airport, which is way out on Long Island. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think I do.
Well, look it up. Look it up. It's Southwest flies mostly, and not necessarily direct, but they have a lot of flights that go. I think they're the only airline major that flies into MacArthur. But she said it's like a luxury airport because it's so lightly traveled because it's not close to New York City. You know, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive from there into the city. So it's really for people who live out on Long Island. But she says it's so nice because it feels so comfortable not having all those people around.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it air travel is sort of a nightmare these days.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to rehash it, but what a pain. It is a pain. It's just a pain. In fact, I have my Garmin, fitness watch or whatever they call it on. And one day at the airport, our travels to the airport that day with the changes in the flights. We had to go from two stops on the way back to Nashville. Had 8,000 steps on my watch. We took 8,000 steps.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's air travel and foot travel, I guess.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, some of those terminals take a long time to walk across these days. Airports are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, although we did stop. The one stop that was cool, and I hadn't been there in many 20-something years, Charlottesville, Virginia, which is up there in kind of the western part of Virginia, southwest of D.C. And that one is like almost brand new. It's beautiful. It's got one venue for eating and snacks. Doesn't have a restaurant or anything. It's a little tiny airport.
Yeah, those are the best. When I travel, when I go to the mothership for work, I go in and out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and they got a small little airport, and it's great because you walk right in, and there's like 4 people in the security line, and you get in, and there's like 12 people waiting to get on a plane, and there's no hassle.
That was what was funny about that Charlottesville. Funny you mentioned that. I looked over because we were just going through it, so we didn't go through security. But on the other side of this very large glass wall was like 3 of the security people standing around the machine, just chewing the fat, waiting.
When I would every now and then flying out of northern Wisconsin, there's a small town Rhinelander, and I'd go in and out of there to visit the parents. And you check in at the counter, and there was like 3 airlines, small little puddle jumpers, and it was like the same person working all 3 desks. And then you'd see that same person in the security line check you in, and then that same person was also the gate agent.
That's funny. Although it's not such a bad thing, though. It makes it for much more comfortable flying. Anyway, anything else for the net, Paul?
Yeah, one thing. I mean, I know there's probably a lot of railroad buffs out there. I got an email from the Nashville Steam Preservation Society. They're the ones rebuilding that steam engine downtown, and they're doing an excursion from their museum there down to Watertown and back. I managed to book a seat in their diner car for the family, but I don't know if anybody's interested, wants to jump on board that to raise money for rebuilding their steam engine there.
Using the original steam engine for the trip?
No, they just mated it back with the wheels. They still got some work to do. They're hoping in a couple of years it'll be done, but it's I think it's one of their old like E units or older diesel locomotive pulling it.
And that's like retro, man. They're actually not sustainable, and they're chewing up coal or something. But man, that's just ain't cool.
I don't know. It's history. I like it.
I like it. Those are the kind of things that kind of defy logic because those are permissible in everybody's eyes, but then they have a fit about me having a car that burns gasoline.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. We got to have things to enjoy.
Oh, I agree. Steam engines are cool. They really are cool. I love them. in fact, my mother's dad, my grandfather, he built steam engines as a hobby. So, you know, he had steam engines he built, you know, with his lathe in the basement.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they weren't huge steam engines. They were really kind of model steam engines, probably not any bigger than bigger than I'll just say a big cake. You know, that's what they looked like, a bunch of stuff, and connected up. He even had a steam boiler in the basement, and that's how he operated.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, no, it's interesting you say that though, because I've been wondering, like, you know, there's a lot of support for this because everybody's seen the engine for years in Nashville and as they've been rebuilding it, but I don't know that a lot of people remember how much smoke a steam engine of that size is going to give off. They used to run those in Wisconsin where I grew up, excursions through there, and I mean they would get so many calls to the fire department for fires and things, and I think the first time that thing runs, they're going to be answering a lot of phone calls.
Now that's the Nashville Steam Engine Preservation Society. They can look that up. When is that train going on?
Yeah, it's NashvilleSteam.org, and the excursion, I believe, is September 16th.
You said September 16th?
Yeah.
All right, very good. NashvilleSteam.org. NashvilleSteam.org. That shouldn't be too hard for those of you who want to look that up on the web. And so there's a trip on September, I think you said 16th, didn't you, Paul?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. I didn't write down I wrote down the name, but not the date. Anyway, it's kind of neat if anybody's interested in steam engines too, because they're trying to rebuild that steam big steam engine down there in Nashville. It's kind of cool. Those things are monstrosities, really. They're just cool. I really like it. Anyway, that was Paul, Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra North Mount Juliet. Who else? Any place anywhere?
KE Ford. Kilo 24 Foxtrot Echo Golf.
Hey, Earl, hold on one second. I did pass. I'm glad you jumped in there because I just realized as I was talking here that I bypassed Kilo Quebec 4 Foxtrot Echo Golf. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I've missed a few nets, so I thought I'd make a point of checking in tonight with you.
Oh, yeah. Good. It's always good to have everybody in there. It's hard to have a net unless people check in. And the more that check in, technically, the better.
Yeah, well, I've had some family in, just some things going on, and I've just missed quite a few nets over the last 2 weeks. So I just thought I'd say, hey, thanks for being out here. It's a fun time. I love hearing the net, and have a good time. 73, everybody.
Yeah, very good. That's Kevin. He's in Bethpage. Kilo Quebec 4 Foxtrot Echo Golf. In other words, I can sit here. No, I can't really do it. It's illegal to do that. Technically, I can't just sit here and yammer on saying nothing to nobody. That would be called broadcasting. But the net, it's a we situation where we provide, like I said, a service because people listen to see how well they can hear and be heard. So again, that was Kevin in Bethpage, Kilo Quebec 4 Foxtrot Echo Golf. Good signal. I'm sorry I accidentally didn't jump in there. But anyway, I heard Earl in there. Earl, what are you up to?
Through another day, went through the three-ring circus trying to manipulate various different websites and walked me through it and everything. But then went through a history lesson today on the old rerun TVs over there and stuff like that. Everything just well, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, that's what the problem is that when I look at what I'm able to do on my computer and yours as well, and then I think back in the 60s when I was a teenager, we had four. We had 4 television stations if you include PBS, which I didn't care for, and we had ABC, NBC, and CBS. Of turning things on from the outside world besides the radio.
Yeah, back in nowadays they say look it up. It's kind of like a search engine, and AI, that's stands for artificial intelligence. Just in case somebody needs a reminder on that. But used to be able to
shelf full of encyclopedias you had to go through and know the alphabet to look stuff up. And if it wasn't covered in that, well, you're just SOL, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's partially the difficulty we have is that it's too easy to get information, so we end up wanting only short bursts of it. In other words, if somebody writes a really long article on what I'm looking for, I tend not to read it because I'm getting lazier. I think everybody else is getting lazier too. They want it. They want answers in the same fashion they get them on what do you call it, on Twitter.
Yeah, short video. Well, I don't know. Just it's been a interesting learning experience over here, and kind of been listening in and biting at the bit to make sure this radio's still working.
Oh, it's working great. Yeah, really, as I said, somebody had a joke about the internet. He says, I just rewired my house. And he goes, didn't know how to do it before YouTube.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on out there too. But it's kind of like you know what they say about opinions is what I found out about YouTube. You gotta take it with a grain of salt, just like this AI stuff.
Oh yeah, no, it still boils down to you and me and everybody who's reading on the web to discern what's good and what's bad and what's right and what's wrong. And I see lots of stuff, and I've learned over the years to accept a lot of things. The old phrase, just with a grain of salt. It's just, okay, that's your opinion. Let me figure out if I know what you're talking about. And I rarely know what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm saying is it takes a great deal of thought because there's so much information available to us.
Yeah, there you go. I guess the narrative on that subject nowadays is the word discrimination, and but we practice it every day. Wherever, whoever, and whatever like that you want to go to is up to individual's choice. But they call that discrimination in daggone narratives. They just kind of, I don't know what to think about it. In some circles, in my way of thinking.
Well, I think people get that confused. We all discriminate every day in some way about the things we want to do or the things we're looking to buy or not buy or the people we hang around with or the stores we go to. We discriminate on what we want. And it's really interesting to me because I think people get that confused. They confuse discrimination with being obnoxious because that's why they say, well, it's hate speech to say you don't like something. Well, I rarely get in a position where I would say something bad to somebody's face. I mean, that's so rare as to be really rare. I tend to be polite and respectful of other people, even if I technically don't like them.
Yeah, I can understand that, but then again, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe a different adjective in terms of what's the difference between a felony or class A, class B, whatever like that. And then they put this hate in front of it. I mean, whatever happened to the sharing the love in our society?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It gets confusing. It really does because it's like that. I don't know if there's a good analogy that I can think off the top of my head, but what's discrimination to you or what is acceptable speech to you is not acceptable speech to somebody else. I mean, you and I can probably sit here, well, at least in private, we can call each other names all day long and neither of us will be offended. Somebody else, they'd say, well, that's hateful.
Yeah, it's kind of like what they say in some circles. It's just, I don't know, it's just mind-boggling, and the changes that's going on so fast, it makes my head spin. I mean, just yesterday, it's just like everything was hunky-dory and everything like that. Mother Nature was cooperating and this, that, and other. And then you see what's happening. The world's just getting, main scenario about that. You know, it's a small world just around across a couple borders or whatever like that. From here, there, and yonder is totally different than you know what it is in my backyard, so to speak.
Yeah, you're right, Earl. Hold on one second. Is there somebody else trying to get in there? Please come down. I heard somebody else trying to break. It was actually accidentally doubling, I think. No, I don't hear anything now. I don't know what that was. Anybody else hear that?
I did, Paul.
Okay, you couldn't tell who it was?
No.
Okay, very good. All right, yeah, Earl, you're right. We live in a much more, that's why when we look back in time, whether you're back to the 40s, the 50s, or the 60s, and very few people look back to the 30s in here, but it was a much simpler time because we didn't have so many things in front of us every day and so much news and opinions being presented every day. It was very, you know, like I said, when I was back in the early 50s, when I was first watching TV, there was one television station, one in Buffalo, New York, near where I live. And then it grew to 2, and then grew to 3, and now we've got 300 or 400, almost unlimited number of ways we can get good and bad information. So yeah, you just have to learn to discriminate is what you have to learn to do.
Yeah, well, I know that, but that's uncritically correct as far as that goes in the narrative of the day. But I understand what you're getting at, because you know, you and I and many of us that's probably out there listening went out and did our patriotic duty to for you know, human rights and this, that, and other, and you know. So, but anyway, I'll let that go at that. And, you know, let you fill in the blanks on that scenario.
Yeah, very good, Earl. Anything else for the net?
No, just well, I got one other question. I mean, I'm digitally back legal now and everything like that. With all this here digital, paperless, and everything like that, it's kind of like is the FCC totally paperless? Or not? Are they not going to send me a frameable wallet size and license to hang on my wall anymore?
No, you get it by email and you get to print it out.
Oh, so there's double standards right there. They want to go paperless, but then again, I got to go buy ink, and my printer's broke down. It don't work, so it's kind of like okay, I understand double standards.
Well, maybe you can just put the email from them on your phone, and when you get somebody asks you, just look in the phone right here. They'll send you an email.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. I got my PC on over here with my license showing, so when I'm communicating or transmitting, I can just. But that was a question I asked my niece the other day when she was buying a new vehicle and everything. With you know, it was even a holiday. It's kind of like, well, those police officers going to actually take time to go through and connect to the internet and this, that, and other, and do the fully research on whether what you're saying is true or not?
I don't know. The police are pretty well connected via their cars these days.
Yeah, they got bigger fish to fry, I think. But anyway, that's probably why there's not so many of them as there used to be, along with all this other defunding. Anyway, that's all I got, Paul. Just being relict as I do, and being, I don't know, kind of radio quiet for a spell because that was the thing to do. But I think I'm squared away now. Be good, be careful, and we'll catch y'all when we can. 7-3 is over here from KE4 or DEZ over here in southeast Wilson County on the backside of Cedars, Lebanon, a place I call Stick City of Cedar City. Okay.
Yeah, very good. Before you go, didn't you hear Darcy, or you? I know you heard Darcy earlier when he was talking to Ray. He was loud and clear, was he not?
Well, I heard Ray talking to somebody, but whoever he was talking to, I couldn't hear him very well. There's been a lot of changes in propagation in the last year and a half over here in my receiving ear saying. I haven't changed anything in terms of my antenna or whatnot, but the indicators on my transmitting equipment over here seems to be maintained the same. So it's kind of comes and goes. I don't know if it's Mother Nature, sunspots, radiation, or exactly. I ain't quite figured it out yet, but there is changes in the atmosphere going on. It's the only way I can understand it right now.
Oh, I'm sure you're right. Because like I said, I could hear Darcy clear as a bell. He was at 10 or 20 over to me. I didn't look, but very loud signal. And then later when he tried to check in, I could barely understand him. So obviously, and he was still in the same place. He said at home. Anyway, he's using an X700. So I don't know. Anyway, that was Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu, and he's looking to defund the FCC. I think that's what it is. And he's over southeast of the Cedars of Lebanon Park over in Noreen. Who else is any place anywhere?
They might as well make their own commercial and be a non-profit organization with all them other rascals in there in the last year and a half, 2 years, starting to beg for money.
That's right. Very good. Okay, thanks, Earl. Anybody else out there? Please come down. All right, I think that about wraps it up. We had 21 in there tonight. It was a good night. Like we heard a couple of people we hadn't heard from in a while. In fact, just this week, earlier, I don't know, it was yesterday. I can make up any day because I forget what day it is. But I was looking up in an old sheet. It was at least 4 or 5 years old. And I looked at some of it. There was like 15 people on 2 separate days of check-ins that I don't hear from anymore. But I knew why. I hear from a couple times, once in a great while. But this isn't their only place to be. I mean, they don't have to be here. But some of them have moved on. Some have passed on. Some have moved away. Or they got better things to do. No big deal. I just know that people come and go. Anyway, no big deal. Any more check-ins? Last chance before we move over to 28.415. All right, just give me a chance to on this radio. I get this. I have to change it over, not only the frequency, but I have to change over from squelch to the other thing, the radio frequency knob, rather than that. So I'll be there in just a momentarily. K4PW.
Casey.
All right, this is K4PW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net here on 10 meters. Looking for check-ins from the north. Please come down. Anybody copying anything from the north?
Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra, Paul North.
Very good. I heard you in there, Paul. Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra. Good to hear from you. Sound good signal. Still on that big vertical, huh? Big tall one.
It seems to do okay so far.
Oh yeah, no, I think it does great. You know as well as I do, all of those types of antennas. In fact, most antennas are some kind of a compromise, unless they're cut exactly for the frequency.
Yeah, it's not great for this band, but it works. But it's better for 40 and 20 meters, but it works okay here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it does. Anyway, it's Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra Paul in North Mount Juliet. Who else is north? Or west? Please come down. Yeah, I hear you a little better tonight than normal there, Greg. That's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. How are you copying me? Ah, very good, very good. Well, you sound better. Not great, but better. Who else is there? Anyway, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie, Victor, Echo. Who else is West?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor.
Hey, how you doing there? You sound good, Jack.
Yeah, both you and Greg are 5'9".
Oh, Greg. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, Greg is always relatively weak to me. I can still hear him, but you're always a good, strong signal. And I'm glad you can hear him real good because it gives him confidence.
Yeah, he sounds great tonight.
Very good. That was Jack and Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is West? West or South? Nobody West or South? Anybody hearing anything I can't hear?
Not a peep.
All righty. Who else is East?
KM4, wow.
All righty. Very good. Yeah, you sound great, but I don't expect you to. You got that thing as high as you're going to get it?
Oh, no. I'm going to, it's going to go up a little higher.
All right. Very good. That was Michael, KM4YRF here in Mount Juliet. He's got the same antenna I do. That's why it's an SPT 500. I guess it originated as a 10 meter or 11 meter antenna, and it's being sold still after 30 or 40 years. I think it's minor modifications, but it's the same antenna. Who else is East or anywhere? Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November. I forgot that. I don't remember which antenna you're using for 10 meters. Oh. Okay, very good. Yeah, the ham sticks work pretty good. I like to think those ham sticks are more commonly used for mobile.
Well, I never decided which two-meter antenna I wanted to buy, and I had that, so I put it up.
Well, I just no, I'm not particular myself, but my first 10 meter antenna was what do you call it? An end fed that hung from a tree, and it was one of those. Gosh, what do they call it? Zephyr. Oh shoot, the one they made for airplanes and the blimps. Anyway, and I made it out of spare materials, and I worked all over the country. That was about 15 years ago or so, and worked like a champ, and it was home built, you know. Well, very good. That was Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November. That was Danny in Cottontown. Who else is any place anywhere? North, south, east, or west? Please come down. Anybody, any place. Otherwise, we're moving on. All righty, a grand total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here on 10 meters upper sideband. I forgot to tell you we had 21 on 2 meters for the 6 of you who might be listening. But I'll meet you guys over on 223.415 for those of you who got it. Anybody on this besides Greg's got it, and I didn't hear Jack. Jack, I didn't hear you in there, did I? Yeah, I did. Jack's in there, and me, and so there are 3 of us here on 223. So we'll catch you guys later. Appreciate everybody. K4PE done. Have a good night, everybody.